I'm going to quickly show a couple of ways of tying up the Tumpline. I explain these in my two blogs, the different uses of them for tying up everything from a bedroll to a barrel to a bale of goods. What I'd like to do right now is just tie up two simple bedrolls. Bedroll tends to be the most common thing that reenactors are tying up. So I'm going to start for this kind with my favorite kind of tie for a bedroll, what I've been using for years. This will be a simple basswood bark one that I mentioned that Mike Gelbin made. I'm going to tie up a buffalo robe here, and what I'll do is I'll just simply roll it up or fold it into about the width that I want. And then to tie it up, I'll take the band and I'm just going to slightly slide it under here a little bit. I'm going to take the two traces or tail ends, flip them over, and then just start rolling up, leaving the brow band on the outside. Now that it's rolled up, I need to untwist the tails from where they were. And then I'm going to adjust the brow band. Generally I like it centered and pretty tight to the bedroll so that when it loosens up and adjusts, it's nice and tight across my chest. Now this one, like I mentioned, has split ends or split tails. I find that very handy and useful, and the reason is because then I can cross them over and have two separate easy ties. This other Tumpline that I'll be showing in a second only has single ones, and you have to play around with it and how you like it for tying it. But what I do is I bring these across, one from each side, do a twist, and then wrap around. Once I get them wrapped around, I can tie off in either a knot or even just a simple bow. Take the other one through, match it to the other one. This one's been one that's been snapped off in the past. I need to weave some more basswood into it. So I can bring this one underneath and tie it tight as well. And quite quickly, I now have a bedroll tied up nicely on a Tumpline. The other method I'd like to show is something I've been kind of playing with lately. This I saw in a sketch by F.W. Waugh, an anthropologist who was working among the Iroquois, and what he showed was actually having the traces down the length of the bedroll and then rolled up with it. The problem is, even though this is a fairly long Tumpline with long traces, they're not long enough to go this length. So what I found is if I fold my blanket in half, it works a little better. Now this is a method I've been playing with just recently. I'd like to consult the sketches a little bit more. I have to dig them out and find where I have them, but ultimately I think this is a waste of the trace. I think that this is a waste of the length, and it doesn't seem to work as well as I'd like it to, but it's something worth playing with, and maybe it's something that's going to work for you. So now I've got it down to about the ends to the brow band, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this up, keeping the brow band on the outside. I need to untwist the brow band to where I want it and kind of tighten it up a little bit by pulling, but now that it's down the length I can't adjust and tighten too much, which is another problem with this method. What I find now is if I take and I wrap around the end with this one, do a loop through, do the same with this one, tighten it and do a loop through, I can come quarter turn, go around and tie it off. Again, now I have a nice little bedroll. Again, the single ended trace instead of the split ends makes it a little tougher, and then even with the length of this Tumpline, it's difficult with this method of rolling the bedroll. Again, this is only one small thin blanket even, and it becomes difficult to get a good tie on it, but it's a method you may want to play with. Thank you for taking a look at this. Hopefully this works well with the two vlogs that I posted and will help give you some good information about using a Tumpline. Did you get the button?
Yes. I think I did.
No, you didn't.